I think I just figured out how to rework Splatoon3's maps. Hey, it's Pokaie, and I was messing around in Recon literally like, I don't know, 10 minutes ago when I kind of had a thought process where it was like, what are the different ways that Nintendo could improve the current Splatoon 3 maps? So today I want to go ahead and do is run through 4 Splatoon 3 maps: Hacklefish Market, Scorch Gorge, Eel Tail Alley, and Until Spillway, to try and see what Nintendo could do, in my opinion, to make these maps a little bit better. Starting off with Scorch Gorge, I just gotta admit, there really isn't a lot they could change with this map. I feel like, you know, from the get-go, at the very start of the map, right, I think actually extending this platform backwards to allow a bit more space is actually a good idea. I think that actually would be a good idea, not even by much too. All you would need is like maybe like an extra 3 feet or something, or maybe like a yard or 2. The next change I want to make is honestly in this section. This part to me is a little too open, in my opinion. What I feel like they could do is simply add one of these blocks, and maybe hell, even another balloon, maybe along right here. So what they could do is have this sort of model after the ranked type of version of the map. 'Cause right now I'm just on tier 4. What they could do is have it model after the ranked version of the map, where this is just a straight block. So this is just kind of like, you know, like you get the ramp right here, and then you have the ledge that kind of looks like that instead right there. I think that can make it look a little better, because that also allows for, you know, counter plays to be made right along here, and teams that are kind of pushing up. It would really help out right there, in my opinion. But I think the second biggest change I think I would make to this map is this little block. I think this should be as tall as that, because if you squid surge right here, you're able to reach the height of the grates right here, and I think that's actually pretty good. Yeah, like it actually does reach up there. I think what they should do is make this block, you know, just add another slab on it and make it as tall as this one, so that when you squid surge up on this thing, it acts as like another way to get up on here, and it actually gives a use for the actual squid surge ability. Because let's be honest here, the squid surge ability is the most underused ability in the game. You know, squid roll, honestly, an amazing little movement mechanic for a tool set. However, surge on the other hand, great idea. It's just that the devs didn't really accommodate for it when designing the maps, you know. So I think if anything, what they could do is make that little block just a little bit taller, so that way we can squid surge up to the grates, and it, you know, makes it a little more challenging. You know, it actually gives a reason for players to watch over the grates. I actually was considering making this block taller, like giving this like an option where this block is at least to, I want to say, that gray panel, so that when you squid surge, you're actually able to squid surge up on this side, and it acts as a secondary route into the enemy base. So I feel like just kind of making this just look a little bit taller would actually be beneficial, as it adds alternate routes to the game, which is something that I feel like Splatoon 3 maps desperately need. All right, now moving on, we have Eel Tail Alley. Now I do have a few adjustments for this map, first of which being this. This needs to change, I feel like. What I think they should do actually is move this entire grate section forward up to at least right here. Move it by a little bit, you know, keep this section, like just kind of push it up more. But the reason I say to push it up is so that things like this are possible. We're able to kind of squid, surge and roll, kind of combine both techs, and be able to, you know, reach that point, or you squid form and then squid roll over there. So let's say, for example, you know, this was pushed up exactly where I am, then it would make this little maneuver possible, you know, because this maneuver would only be possible if you squid surge and roll, or, you know, roll from that position. Because if you just make a base jump, I mean, you can make it, but, you know, to be more flashy, and to add like another way into, you know, the enemy base, just having this right there. Now, of course, it is broken since it does lead immediately into the spawn. But what I feel like they could do instead is, like, let's say, okay, the devs want to make an alternate route into, you know, the enemy area, but they don't want you to access the spawn that easily. Okay, easy way to counter that. You cut off this platform right here, and then what you do is you make this just a ramp that is accessible to go right there. Easy as that. Easiest way to circumvent spawn camp. But moving on, the next change I would really love to see is this. I want this to be the height of that. Now the reason I say that this should be taller is because, you know, if you're able to squid surge right here, maybe get off a roll, especially with enough intensifying action, I feel like what could happen is that you would be able to access this, which would honestly be very good, since that means that you don't have to go all the way around just to access the bridge. You can simply just jump from right there and have an easier time. Now, of course, you know, the downside of using that platform to jump from is that obviously, since backliners, especially chargers, are going to be positioned right here, they can simply move forward and shoot you down if you decide to jump. So honestly, it's like a bit of like a risk reward thing where it's like, yes, you can use this platform to, you know, kind of get into, you know, the enemy's bridge side or get back on your own. The downside is that you get shot from either the enemy's side or from, you know, the other side. So it's kind of like a risk reward thing, you know, where it's kind of like, okay, this platform allows me to get into the bridge faster and easier than if I were to just go around. However, the downside is I get shot, you know, very, very easily. I think another change they can make is to simply remove this. This is so unnecessary. I don't know why they added this here. This, I feel, okay, this block, admittedly, this block should be moved over right here so that squid surging is possible. From this position, like make the entire walls inkable, please, Nintendo, make them inkable. That way when you squid surge from, you know, this position, it acts as another way to get in onto the bridge. Because honestly, I feel like, you know, Eel Tail Alley, it's such a good designed map in my opinion. Okay, hot take, I guess, but I actually do enjoy Eel Tail Alley. I enjoy it a lot. But there are just a few things that make it kind of meh to play on, and just a few of these things, from like, you know, block height differences to block positioning, really make the difference, you know. But that's really all I gotta say though about Eel Tail Alley. I know there's like probably a few more changes I could probably make to this map to make it better, but this is honestly all I can really think of for now. But let's move on. All right, moving on to Hagglefish Market. There really isn't a lot, I'll be honest, that I really want to change out of this map. Like, there really isn't a lot. Maybe making this thing right here like an actual place you can walk into, just making another one of these tents. I feel like that would make it kind of nice. Maybe adding an inkable wall right here that would allow you to get into this area right here, but only via a squid surge with a roll. Honestly, that's another thing I want to add, is like squid surge and roll is such a unique and interesting combo, but the devs don't really utilize it, or like the game doesn't really utilize it, I should say. So I feel like, you know, making this wall inkable, that would make it a lot more interesting. And the best thing about this too is that it's not overpowering, you know, because while yes, maybe I can understand, you know, maybe Splatoon Stamper or Wiper can kind of lock you out of the map much easier than simply shooting at you from right here. I don't want this removed, so kind of like this would act as like a little barrier, meaning that the only way you'd be able to get, you know, kind of killed by a Stamper or Wiper from this position is if you stand right here. Now I did say that there weren't many changes to this map that I wanted to make. However, there is one big one I want to make, and that is to make both this side of the map and this inkable and climbable to get. I should probably say that. Both inkable and climbable to get on. What I mean is I want this little post, I want it gone. What I want instead is just another one of those inkable strips, like I've seen in Storm Mode and stuff like that, right here. So basically you're able to squid surge and kind of like, you know, or just kind of basically climb up on top of that area and just use it to the best of your ability. And then from there, it can act as like another backliner perch, or as another perch for, you know, charters. And well, understandably, I know that can be a little frustrating and annoying to some players, but you also got to realize I want this here too, meaning that a good charger player, what they could do is simply come up here, charge their shot, pop up, boom, pop whoever is up here, and that position is now free. But I also want this position right here to be open and inkable. Now I don't mean to change the layout of these blocks. I actually do think the layout of the blocks would actually be kind of nice, because it actually adds counterplay, because it means if you see somebody climbing up this position from over there, then you can simply shoot at them, you know, kind of protect your backline a little bit. But I want this to be inkable, that way you can get up on here, and then from here, that's inkable platform, and you can just have another inkable strip up there that leads up there. So that way there's like two ways of entry to get on these positions. And like the best part is that if you have good backlines, then that means that they wouldn't only be watching out for their safety on these perches from that position, they would also be watching out from this one, meaning that there's a way to counter both perches from two different sides of the map, you know. Like, so actually I feel like that actually makes it kind of balanced in my opinion. But I mean, aside from that though, there really isn't much. Maybe making these sponges be able to be inked in enemy ink, though you have to constantly look out for them, since, you know, enemies can get into your base from this position. And maybe that's pushing it a little bit too much, but that's honestly it for Hagglefish Market. But let's move on to our final map. Undertow Spillway. Now, similar to Hagglefish, there really isn't much I want changed on this map. I feel like this map overall is kind of decently designed compared to the past three and doesn't really need many major changes. The only real change I would think I would make to this map is to make this grate be pushed over a bit right here, and then make this go up a little bit and this block inkable. That way you can kind of squid surge and roll and maybe have a chance of getting up there given if that block isn't there. I feel like that would be kind of nice, you know, it adds another way of entry into the spawn while also kind of making it from the same angle. But aside from that, the only other change I would make to this map is to make this an inkable block. Either make it like a sponge that can be inked in both enemy ink, or make it one of those basic, you know, generic blocks. That way there's actually more of a reason to play up on these glass areas aside from just, oh, I can control like half the map somewhat from this position, you know. Have this be an actual like inkable object. That way you can kind of squid surge or roll, or kind of just jump on top and go on the glass sides. So I feel like, you know, making this an inkable object would make it just so much more fun for this map. But apart from that, that's kind of it. I mean, maybe it's a very strong maybe here, make this an inkable wall so it actually makes the far side of spawn useful on this map. But at the same time, I feel like what they could easily do is make that wall inkable while also cutting down this area and making this little ship over here a lot larger, similar to how it is in ranked, I believe. Yeah, I mean, apart from that though, there really isn't much else I want to talk about. But I mean, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. You know, do you guys agree with a lot of the map changes that I am pitching? Do you think that a lot of these are dumb and boring and that I am making the maps worse? Feel free to let me know in the comment section below, and feel free to let me know as well if you guys want to see me make a part 2 to this series. What I'm going to do if this ends up becoming a series is I'm going to take every single map row by row and kind of dissect how I would improve them, meaning this could easily be like, I don't know, a 4-part series come the next season, or a 5-part series, I can't count. But yeah, no, I mean, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below on a lot of my ideas, and maybe even pitch your own ideas in the comments as well. But for now, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Oh, and before I forget, please do the generic YouTuber stuff, you know, like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. And, you know, we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!